So if you'd like to just quickly introduce yourself before we get started, and also just explain a little bit on your roles and responsibilities that you have at Rochdale Olympic Gymnastics Club, please.
Hi, my name's Tom. I've been at the gym 7 or 8 years now as assistant chairman. Now there's quite a few roles. We do the finance, marketing. I do a bit of photography for the club as well. There's several aspects of the gym. That's about it, really.
Okay, so obviously before I go through to do this presentation, as you know, I've been working with this organisation for the past couple of months, and I've just been looking and researching into what our current talent development systems are within the club. And obviously I'm wanting to propose some new strategies to further develop the club in the future. And I've been in contact with yourself over email, and I've already sent you over this presentation just so you can get your head round sort of what we're going to be discussing today, and to also write down a few questions that you might have. I'm hoping by going through this presentation today verbally with you that this might actually disregard and sort of give you some clarification and understanding on these questions. But obviously if you have any outstanding questions after I've already been through this information, then there's 100% time for that. So if you don't mind giving me a moment while I just share my screen with you. So is that viewable for you now?
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
Right, so the processes to develop Rochdale Olympic Gymnastics Club. So the first factor that I'd like to improve within the club is models of talent development. And before I kind of go through this, I just wanted to sort of explain what talent development is to start off with. So talent development refers to the processes for fostering athletes that have been previously identified as talented and therefore accelerate their progressions of performance in gymnastics. So why is this an area that needs developing? So currently Rochdale Olympic Gymnastics Club doesn't actually have any models of talent development implemented. So, and I think that models of talent development play a vital role within sporting organisations, as they can help to identify talent amongst athletes and to also monitor athletes' progressions through their careers. The current strategy in regards to processing the athletes through the levels at the moment is purely based on what coaches view as talented. So the process of development that I'm proposing to you and the organisation is a model called the FTEM model. And this model doesn't reflect the complexity of issues involved with talent identification. So the main advantage of this is that our organisation can therefore implement this model of talent development for the gymnasts without having to change the ethos of the club itself. So I think this is a massive advantage, because I think our ethos of the club from start to finish has always been fun and enjoyment, and we've always wanted our gymnasts and our athletes to come into that club to enjoy themselves and to come and do the hobby that they love. So I think this is an amazing model that we can put into place without having to change that. And also British Fencing have implemented this specific framework in order to underpin their pathway as well, which I think is quite interesting. So the benefits of this model is that national governing bodies of sport have now created many more development strategies that include the actual club as the foundation unit for sport development. So I think this definitely supports the FTEM framework, because governing bodies of sport suggest development strategies. Therefore, this kind of gives us an indication that these will benefit the club in regards to the organisation as a whole and their development as a club, and for the actual athletes' development as well. And I believe by following a structured pathway, this therefore allows talent to be noticed more efficiently, and therefore I think we're able to process our athletes through their levels at a quicker rate as well. So just before I move on to my second factor that I'd like to improve within our club, is there any outstanding questions that you feel like you need a little bit more understanding or clarification on?
Yeah, I've managed to write a few down. Can I go ahead with the first one?
Yeah, of course you can.
Stated that the progress of our athletes through their levels based on what one coach's view as talent. Why do you think this needs changing? Because I don't see an issue which this method we currently use.
Right, so I understand where you're coming from there, but I definitely believe by looking into this that athletes have kind of reported that poor coaches treated some athletes more favourable than others. So if you can understand where I'm coming from, I believe that this can mean that coaches can be biased towards certain athletes. So coaches aren't meant to necessarily have favourites that they coach, but I think this is a natural thing that occurs within clubs. And I think that by putting this framework in place, this helps to avoid coaches processing athletes through their levels based on the fact that they like that child. I think they need to be progressed through their levels based on their sporting ability.
Right.
Do you have any more questions before I move on?
Yeah, on that one. You mentioned that British fencing use this model, but this doesn't actually prove that it's effectively does it.
Right, I understand where you're coming from there. And to be fair, British Fencing have actually kind of described this a little bit further. So they've mentioned that this framework provides 10 development phases within the framework itself. So I think this is quite important because there's not just 3 or 4 phases, there's actually 10. So that's a big jump, I believe. So I think this helps for us as an organisation and shows that there's enough phases that every single participant within that club has a place and has a section that they fit into, which I think is very important. And they've also stated that it's effective for them because it helps them to actually identify and deliver the right support, at the right time. So I think that's also important because when we go through our actual coaching and things like that, the whole point of it is the support, and the core of our actual organisation is actually our athletes as well. So is that okay for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
So moving on to my next factor, it is resources and support systems. So first of all, what are resources and support systems? So these systems are generally a network of people who provide an individual with practical or emotional support. So moving on, why should this area be developed? So kind of by reviewing the actual resources and support systems within Rochdale Olympic Gymnastics Club, I was able to identify this is an opportunity to be developed, and this is in regards to the parents at our club. So I believe that this area needs to be developed due to research actually highlighting that parental involvement is crucial to young children's development in sport, as they can provide financial, emotional and physical support. So the process to improve parent involvement is parent workshops. So I'd like these to be put in, and these will most likely be run by the chairman and the coaches of the club. So these parent workshops give the parents an opportunity to ask the right questions. So these questions could possibly include gathering information about effective coach requirements, recruitment policies and codes of conduct, disciplinary and so on. These workshops also create opportunities for conversations that would allow parents to explore and compare their experiences as being parents within youth sport. So with having parents within a group, this allows parents to actually discuss with each other. So it's not just, a workshop where they get given a load of information, they can also have communication between each other, which I think is important as well. So the advantages of parent workshops. So parent workshops help to get parents involved with their child's sporting career and can therefore promote enjoyment for both the athlete and the parent, which I think is important. It's not just about our athletes. The parents have a contribution to the club as well. So I found that enjoyment is a main factor of why children take part in sport. As a result of this, parent workshops are most likely going to encourage children to stay involved in the sport for a longer period of time. And that's realistically what our aim is as a club. We would love to keep our athletes for as long as possible. So just to finish off, is there any other questions that are outstanding on that factor that I've just proposed to you?
Yeah, on that last piece, what's your explanation behind having the parents' workshop delivered by the chairman and the coaches?
So I've chosen these certain individuals because, first of all, with the coaches, they can explain sort of what the parents actually see firsthand. So the parents actually view the coaching sessions, but I don't think they have an understanding of what the coaches' aims and objectives are. So that's why the coaches will be delivering it, because they can give an insight on what their aims and objectives are in regards to their actual child's development. Yeah. And then obviously in regards to the actual chairman being involved, I think they can further explain sort of what goes on behind closed doors. For example, meetings and, like you've said, finances and things like that, and the health and safety side of the club. I don't think parents see this firsthand, so they might not know about these sort of subjects. So I think it's very important that the chairman is involved to outline these, and also therefore as a whole outline the overall aims and objectives of the club itself, not just the coaches. So I think that's why I've chosen for them individuals to actually deliver these workshops.
Can I also just add, we do have an annual general meeting, and we do invite the parents to come and see the finances, and what's involved in the club. And a lot of them are sort of shocked at what we actually do for the club.
Yeah, that's another reason why I believe that these parent workshops are a really good idea and would have a good impact on it. And like you say, I think it's a good idea as well that you have that invite for the parents to come and sit in your meetings as well, whether they take that or not. But I believe that by outlining a parent workshop, they know that it's for them, whereas the annual meetings, it's for yourselves, and they can just kind of join as an additional party. So I think if we outline an actual workshop that's for the parents purposely, I think that will engage them and make them want to attend a little bit more as well.
Yeah, good idea, yeah.
So can you just stay on while I just come off this presentation, if you don't mind? So just to finish up, I'd just like to thank you for obviously giving me some of your time. I hope what I've proposed to you, you can obviously go away and have a little bit of a think about this, because I understand that it's a lot of information to take in. And obviously, if you have any additional questions, you already have my email. And I just hope that these strategies that I'm proposing to you can maybe actually make a difference in the future for the club and progress it even further.
Yeah, what I might do at the next AGM meeting, I'll put it forward to all the respected people at the meeting, and then we'll do a hands vote, say yes, in for it or not in for it, and just see how we get on, and then I can sort of give you an update.
That's brilliant. Okay, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.